Livewire's audio video installation and mounting. This video will go over the various mounting options you may use to install audio video equipment. Let's start by looking at television mounts. There are 4 types of television mounts that you may use when installing a television: flat mounts, tilt swivel mounts, and articulating mounts. The flat mount is the simplest and least expensive of the mounts. It allows the television to be hung flat against the wall. There are no angle adjustments available with this type of mount. Tilt mounts allow a television to be installed flat against the wall while also allowing the TV to tilt upward or downward. This type of mount is helpful if you are installing the television higher on the wall and need to tilt the television downward for better viewing. The tilt swivel mount allows the television to not only tilt upward or downward, but also swivel to the left or right. This is great if there are multiple places in a room where people might need to see the TV. The articulating mount provides the greatest tilt and swivel flexibility because the mount has an extendable arm. This arm allows the television to be pulled out from the wall, giving it a wider range of side-to-side swivel capability. When the TV is not in use, the arm folds behind the TV and the TV can be pressed back flat against the wall. Projector mounts. In many home theaters, a projector is used instead of a television. Projectors are typically mounted to a wall or a ceiling. The placement depends on the room, screen location, and client preference. Projector mounts may be stationary or automated. Stationary mounts stay in one position. While there is tilt and swivel capability available during installation, once installed, a stationary mount will stay as is. Here you can see examples of stationary mounts. The first is a wall mount placed on the same wall as the screen. The second is also a wall mount, but it's placed on the wall opposite the screen. The last 2 are ceiling mounts. One has an arm that extends the projector down from the ceiling. All of these are stationary and are meant to stay as is once installed. A projector mount can also be automated. An automated projector mount allows the projector to be hidden out of sight when it's not in use and moved into position automatically at the push of a button. These are also known as projector lifts. Here you can see an example of an automated ceiling mount. The projector is installed inside the mount in the ceiling. Screens. There are a number of different types of projector screen mounts as well. Projector screens may be portable, in which case they will have a tripod or folding frame that can be put together to hold the screen. When we install a projector screen for a client, it's most likely going to be fixed, pull down, or motorized. Fixed screen mounts mean that the screen is mounted to either the wall or ceiling and stays as is once mounted. Fixed screens may have brackets on which to attach the screen, or it may have a track to which the screen is mounted. Pull-down screens are pulled down manually by hand. They then retract back into the casing. The casing is usually mounted directly to the wall or ceiling or with special brackets. A motorized screen also has a casing. However, rather than pulling the screen down manually, the screen moves at the push of a button. Motorized screens may be mounted on the ceiling, on the wall, or in the ceiling, so even the casing isn't visible when the screen is not in use. Speakers. There are many different mounting options for speakers. Often the mounting options depend on the type of speaker you are installing. A soundbar is a special loudspeaker that creates a stereo effect from a single cabinet. A soundbar is typically mounted below the display. There are wall mounts that hold the soundbar directly to the wall. There are also TV mounts that attach the soundbar directly below the TV. There are even TV mounts that include the soundbar mount with it. Often we have clients installing either 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound speakers. The type of speakers they purchase will determine whether you mount them with brackets, as you see here, or in the wall, as you see here. In-wall speakers are sold as such and come with the necessary mounting pieces to install inside the wall. A subwoofer, which is part of the 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound speakers, generally sits out of sight. The subwoofer can be set right on the floor, or it can be mounted inside the wall. Sometimes the inside wall mount has a speaker screen showing from the drywall. Sometimes the speaker is completely encased inside the wall with drywall covering it. Once you have installed all of the audio-video equipment, it's time to set up any remotes the client has chosen. There are 3 types of remotes we typically see and are programmed for our clients. The standard or dedicated remote control is the remote control that comes with the specific component. This of course isn't practical for a client that has multiple components in one room. The universal remote control is a basic remote used to control the audio-video devices in a room. When you want to sit down and watch a movie, this remote can turn on the TV, set it to the correct input, turn on the receiver, set that to the correct input, and turn on and control the DVD player. Instead of using multiple remotes, you can control it all from this one remote. Taking it one step further, there are advanced home automation control system remotes. These can handle all of the devices in your entire home, including your security system, blinds, and sound system. These types of systems also have apps, so you can control everything from your phone or iPad as well. When a client is using one of these types of systems, the technician will be in contact with the Livewire office while on site. The Livewire office will program the system, and the technician will check the components on site to make sure the system is working correctly. Regardless of the type of remote control the client is using and the components you installed, after you have completed your work, you should always go over everything with the client. Make sure you tell and show the client the various components you installed that day. Train the client on using the remote. Make sure he or she is comfortable using all of the devices before you leave. Training the client is part of Livewire's installation process. For more information from the individual vendors, please visit their websites.